Rick, I want to thank you for giving me a hand here.
Yeah.
This is one of the hands from American Werewolf in London. Can you explain how you did this?
Well, this is one of the stages of the metamorphosis, and it's very, this is very basic really nowadays. It's a foam latex appliance, and what we started out with was a cast of David's hand. In this case, we had his fingers closed like this, plaster cast of his hand, and then we modeled this new wolf, semi-wolf hand. Let's see if I can get this on. This has been used, so it's seen better days, but then this is glued on to the actor's hand, in this case David Naughton's hand, and the thumb is made up, and we actually had an appliance on his tip of his thumb to make it look more like this.
It certainly looked real in the film when it started to grow and stretch.
Yeah.
This is some of the gore makeup, and we really see this in some detail on the face, on Griffith's face, when he pops up in some of the nightmare sequences. And this same kind of effect is on his face. Right?
Yeah, well actually I have one of these here. This is one of the first stages of, this is the first stage appliance of Griffin. This is a torn out neck. It goes this way like this.
Yeah.
This is glued on and then made up and put some fresh blood on it, and it's pretty effective.
Very effective, very effective. This is a horror mask. This is one of the ghouls in the film.
This is actually Griffin in the last stage.
Griffin.
Yeah, and Jack, the character Jack, in the last stage. He starts out with his throat torn out, and then he gets more and more decomposed until he reaches this stage. And that's what he basically looked like there. And this was his hand. This was actually because we wanted this bony, skinny hand, which is, you can't really do with the makeup, so we got this mechanical hand. So it's got a wrist movement like that. And then also, if you can just hold this for 1 second.
Okay.
When we move these cables, see, it bends its
fingers. Each one moves individually?
Yeah, so they all move individually by this movement. Or we can do them all in a bank, like so, having points or whatever.
La 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 la. Isn't this fun? Lovely stroll on the moors. Did you hear that? I heard that. What is it? You think it's a dog? Nice doggy. Good boy.
What happened to them?
Well, the police report said they were attacked by an escaped lunatic.
A wolf. My friend Jack was just here. Told me that I will become a monster in 2 days.
Your dead friend, Jack.
Yes.
Gotta believe me, David.
Believe what? You're one of the undead, and I'm a werewolf.
Tomorrow night's the full moon. You're gonna change.
A what?
You'll become...
I know. A monster.
A naked American man stole my balloon.
What?
What did I do last night?
You don't remember?
The last remaining werewolf must be destroyed. It's you, David.
Run! Good Lord.
Is this one of the molds of Griffin, a step mold?
This is actually for David Naughton for the transformation. This is one of the stages. Yeah, this is excess material that's peeled away, and this is then glued onto his face and made up with the special makeup.
It's really exciting, Rick. Where did your love for special effects spring from? Where did it all start for you?
Monster movies on TV. I watched them. Any monster movie that was ever on TV, I'd watch when I was a kid at night. So I'd like to do that. How do they do that? So I researched it and found out what I could and basically taught myself.
And you've added your own and refined your own techniques too. So.
Oh yeah, well you have to be pretty inventive, and that's the fun part.
How long did you work on the werewolf film? How long did it take you to devise all these?
We started about 10 months before the actual production. But part of that time we didn't have any actors because of the Screen Actors strike, so we tested. We tested the ideas, and that actually helped a lot. We did a trial, a transformation really on our own, and then we got David Naughton and Griffin, and then we started working on the real stuff.
Now, we saw a similar kind of transformation in The Howling just a few months ago, And were you involved in that too?
Yeah, I was.
Was it basically, we're seeing the same technique?
Yeah,
right?
ours is refined a little more than that was. But yeah, I was the makeup consultant on that, and Rob Bottin is my protege. I taught Rob from 14, he was 14 years old, and he's worked with me on quite a few films. And
did it bother John a little bit that The Howling came out before the Werewolf film?
He was going to kill me because I told Rob how to do this, you know, because we had been talking about this type of metamorphosis for years. John wrote the script 10 years ago. So, I mean, I had this idea quite a while ago, and I wanted to use it, and you know, after waiting 10 years, I thought Werewolf was never going to be made. So they came to me with The Howling, Joe Dante, Mike Fennell, and they wanted me to do the work, and I said, okay, you know, and they offered me total freedom on the design and everything, which just never happens, you know?
Yeah.
And I was real intrigued, and I actually started the picture, and then John called me up and said, hey, we're doing American Werewolf, and I went, no, what am I going to do, you know? So I turned it over to Rob, and I kind of was obligated to tell him how the transformation was going to work, you know. So I showed Rob basically what to do, and then he took off on his own, and you know, he called me when he had problems, and he went about doing it. He did a great job.
He sure did. Special effects are becoming more refined all the time. Are you sometimes afraid that a producer's going to demand something that you can't deliver it?
Yeah,
it's still going in leaps and bounds.
Yeah, it is. It was, you know, a few years ago, it was hard to convince a director or producer to do something like this, you know. And now they're coming up with all these crazy ideas, you know, and it is difficult.
Yeah, how do you top yourself?
Yeah.
Here, Rick, what do you do next?
It's going to be hard because this film, and like The Howling, you know, had a lot of opportunities to do some interesting effects, and which I really appreciated, the opportunity to show people what we can do, but it is going to be hard to top. I don't know how we're going to do it.
Do you draw the line at good taste, or do you try to go for the most horrific effect you can get across?
Well,
or is that
it's really not, decision? Yeah, I was going to say, it's really not my decision. You know, if it were up to me, a lot of things that were in this film, it's pretty gory, you know, and I don't really enjoy the gore as much as really making characters, you know. And actually gore effects are the easiest effects because, you know, just pull the blood on somebody and people just kind of cringe, you know. So it was really up to John, you know. I mean, it's his film, and he said, this is what I want. So he said, I want his throat ripped out, so I did this. You know, I mean, I tried to get involved as involved as I can in every design and try to make it work as well as I can, you know. But it's really up to what the director tells me he wants.
Rick, I have time for just one more question. What makes Rick Baker tick? What do you live for? Is it movies and special effects?
Yeah, it's really what I really hope. You know, this job I got a lot of freedom, not as much freedom as I want. I really would like to do a film where they said, Rick, you can just do what you want to do, and any way you want to do it, and we'll listen to how you want to photograph it, and so on. And I think if given that opportunity, people will see things that have never been seen before. You know.